Good evening, everyone. Thank you to the 10K Project and this week's Bet on Black Pitch. We have another amazing founder with us, Mr. David Lewis from MacroBites. He's going to tell us all about his venture with his business partners. You know how we do. I'm going to share the campaign page and all of that. But before I start, I wanted to tell you guys a story. So I placed an order from MacroBites because I always want to know. I'm an investor too, right? I know we're hosting this thing, but I am an investor first. And so I wanted to know, how good is this food really? I like what they saying. They cute as all get out. But what's this really about, right? And so I placed my order, and I kind of overdid it a little bit because I was like, when I placed the order, it was right before I was getting ready to go out of town. So then when I got it, and I was like, damn, there's a lot of food. What am I doing? I'm gonna do with all this food. So, but it gave instructions on how to freeze it, right? So I could have give you like a date. If you're not gonna be able to eat it by this date, you can freeze it. So I did that with a couple of the things, and everything has been amazing, really, really good. I'm not just saying that. Y'all know I don't do the BS. It was delicious. And so I placed my order, I think it was last month, but last night I was hungry and it was late. I was finishing up some stuff late and I was like, what am I going to eat? And I was like, oh, I got those meals still. So I had like 3 of them. So I went and I heated one up last night. I actually heated up the turkey burger last night.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It was a turkey burger. It sat on a bed of spinach and had some roasted potatoes in it. Divine. I was like, let me find out they made a turkey burger taste kind of gourmet, and I just unfroze it. So I'm telling you, kudos, the real deal. I mean, it was delicious. It was delicious fresh. It was delicious frozen. It came on time. It was packaged very, very nicely, very securely. I am by nature, I tend to be critical, and I had nothing bad to say about it. Nothing at all. And that's a big deal. Anybody who knows me on here in real life, they'd be like, damn, she ain't had nothing to say? Nothing.
I love to hear that. I really do.
No, it was the real deal. I just wanted to share that with the family. They can place an order. We'll make sure we tell you how to do that. So if you want to order it on your own, you don't have to listen to me. But I just wanted to share my experience as a potential investor. It gave me all the feels all the way around that you guys made good food, good service, good product was delivered to me in a great professional, easy to understand it all. The labeling was clear, like all of the things happened exactly the way they're supposed to do when you order from a new company.
Yes,
so,
I love that. I love that. I live for that. Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, let me share the campaign page, guys. You guys know in the chat, we're going to put the custom link that we've been using for the last couple of weeks. We're going to put that in the chat for you throughout the evening. If you can utilize that link, if you can copy it, if you want to go back to the campaign page later, we'd love for you to use that link. If you can't find the link, it's going to be in your newsletter when we send out your replays. So try to use that link if you can, because as I stated to you guys before, we want to try to report back to the founders how successful this was for them, right? They paid to pitch in front of you this evening, and we want to be able to report back to them that their investment in themselves was worth it for them. So we want to be able to report back how many of you have gone to their campaign. All right. So I am going to share my screen just really quickly. The first thing I want to say is, so MacroBites is on Seat at the Table. You guys know we had Pierre come a few weeks back introducing Seat at the Table, first Black-owned portal that doesn't just focus on real estate, because as you got, Buy the Block focused on real estate only. So Seat at the Table is the newest Black-owned equity crowdfunding portal. So super excited to be reviewing the website again. This is the main page. The link that we're going to give you goes directly to the MacroBites campaign page. You can see all the other campaigns here, but here's MacroBites right here. As you can see, we have David with us. Right now, they're 17% funded. They've got 30 days left. They've raised $42,000, and they've got a $250,000 goal. When you go to the campaign page, you can see the specifics, right? There's a minimum $100 investment. They already have 42 backers. They've met their minimum raise, so congratulations on that. They've exceeded their minimum raise. That's always great news. We'll see information here. You can see the videos that they have. And David's going to tell you their story, so I'm not going to play their videos. I want to get to the bottom is where I believe seat at the table has the specifics of the type of deal it is. Why did I think it was at the bottom? Hold on.
Scroll up just a little bit. No, it was at the bottom. It was right there.
Was it right at the bottom?
Yeah, go back to the bottom. Scroll up just a little bit from there. Just a little bit more. Keep going. There it is.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. I thought it was at the bottom. Thank you. So this is a 2-year convertible note with 10% interest annually. We talked about the $100 minimum, right? And as I stated to you guys, I think it was a few weeks ago, how a convertible note works is at the end of the term. So in this case, 2 years, you can decide if you want to convert your notes to shares, or if you want to cash in the note essentially and just get your money with the interest that has been accrued. So those are the basic terms. That's the extent of the information I like to go over. You know, there's some more information here. You can see all of the information about the team here. But I am going to let David take over. Let me stop sharing. You guys know where to go so you can do your due diligence later. Okay. David, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so welcome. And I just want to start with telling everybody who joined, just thank you. Thank you for spending your time because that's the most valuable resource we have. And I know everybody's busy. And if you're on a call like this and you probably got stuff to do, you have a busy life. And the fact that you spent, an hour of your time to come here and listen to me talk about my business, it means the world to me. And I'm grateful for it. So thank you. And I also want to say I'm going to respect your time. I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm not going to drag on and on about nothing. I'll be brief, but I will be thorough and articulate. But, I'm not going to, waste your time here tonight. So before I even start getting into the business and what we're offering and the slides and, the seat at the table, everything that we have there, I just want to give all of you guys some background on myself and the other 2 owners of the business. My name is David. I co-own the business with Jared and Fritz. Those are my 2 childhood friends. We grew up together. And honestly, I debated on even sharing this with you guys, but I figure if you're potential investors, I want to be transparent and let you know who you're investing in. And honestly, early in our lives, me, Jared, and Fritz, we all sold drugs at an early age, starting in middle school, 13, 12 years old, and all ended up serving time in prison early in our 20s or late in our teens for Fritz. And it kind of, put a stop on the trajectory that we were going in or any benefits that we had to our lives. All that stuff got cut short and we went to prison, for the beginning part of our lives. But the reason I did want to mention it is because, even though we were selling drugs and it was illegal and it was a bad thing we were doing, we were entrepreneurs, we were business owners as middle schoolers and high schoolers. And we carried that experience. And I think a lot of the stuff that we learned in the streets then has helped us now to this day while we're in boardrooms and meetings and, doing what we're doing now. We've been able to carry some of the lessons that we've learned from the streets. And thank God that we didn't get killed doing what we were doing because a lot of people that we were around did. A lot of our friends did. You go look at my closet, all these RIP t-shirts and, stuff that go into funerals and the stuff that people glamorize, it's really not glamorous. People are out here dying like a lot of our friends did, like we could have done too if we had got caught up in the wrong way. But fortunately, we didn't. We got out of prison and we started this business that we're raising funds for now. We started the business in 2019. This is 7 years after all of us had gotten out of prison. And, me and Jared, two of the co-owners, we had immediately after prison started working in service industry jobs. So that's starting from the dishwasher to line cooks to waiters to bartenders to anything that's related to a restaurant, and ended up being we were restaurant managers at the end of it when we stopped doing that and decided to start our own business. But we got our base, our foundation in that. And Fritz took another route, which is common for people who've been incarcerated, which is working in construction, masonry, drilling in concrete, fabricating commercial buildings, to where he ended up retiring as a foreman, doing major commercial sites in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So that's the background that we have, and that's the skill set that we bring. So we started MacroBites in September 2019 as a local, small, ready-to-eat meal company. Basically, I was always into fitness, and so was my two partners. And since we were working service industry jobs when we stopped and decided to start our own business, it seemed like a natural course of action because it's what we knew. We knew how to cook, and we knew how to be healthy and keep our bodies good. So we combined that, and we saw other companies, meal prep companies, doing similar things. And we realized, because, we were personal training on the side hustle, and we were cooking for our clients already with no business, no LLC, nothing, just cooking for, the people that we were doing it for. So we already had a clientele, and we just decided to turn that into something legitimate that we could, feed our families with and, change our lives with. And that's how MacroBites started. And that's how, we are where we are now. And that's kind of where the story starts. Like when I start sharing my screen now and going into the slides and all of that, that's where the story starts. It starts after we've gone through all of that. And we've created this business from the skill set that we had with the determination and the grind that we had. So, we make it easy for anybody to eat nutritiously. We ship ready to eat meals nationwide. Notable, the first Black owned company to do that. Still the first Black owned company to do that right now, which is something that we're super proud of, because we feel like we've made history no matter how the business goes. Like in the last 2 years, we went from just some local meal prep company to shipping nationwide and serving the whole country, all 100% Black owned, which is amazing for us. And we're super proud of it. And we're also super proud to be fighting food insecurity. And instead of grabbing all the profits that we can, we take those and give them back to the community that we serve, which is paid dividends for us and getting us other business contracts and, stuff with the government that I'll talk about later. But for us, as just people who grew up in the same city that we were selling drugs at, to be able to give out food to the people we used to sell drugs to, now we just give them free food. It means something to us, because I don't know, it's just a different feeling. So that's something that's a core of our business, the giving back and the charity. So I want you to keep that in mind too. And just notably, just last week, we topped over 15,000 meals that have been distributed for free from our market in Asbury. Something we're super proud of too. So that's what we have. So let's get to the good stuff about the business. 43% gross profit margin. And if you know anything about the restaurant industry, that's well above industry averages. We've had a 73% average growth quarter over quarter since we've started in September 2019. The only Black owned ready to eat meal company that ships nationwide. We've sold over 70,000 meals to date. We've been featured on NBC, CBS, have UFC fighters, USA Today, a lot of local newspapers and local television stations have done stories on us. So those are the highlights. Those are like the you should invest in us type of things. So, what problem are we solving? The problem is, people have trouble accessing healthy food, especially our people, especially people who live in the places that we grew up in selling drugs in. there's no MacroBites in a lot of these cities. There's the fried chicken spot, there's the pizza spot, there's the 7-Eleven, there's the Poppy store, there's the Arab store. There's not the Black-owned MacroBites. And our goal is to make sure there is the Black-owned MacroBites in all of these places, because it's a problem. People don't eat well. We all know it. There's 42% of people are overweight in obesity. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. Medical costs are high. People are dying over our people, mostly people that look like my grandma who just passed away. Rest in peace. People like, my partner Jared's father who just passed away. These people are losing their lives over not eating right and not having their bodies good. Something preventable. But unfortunately, in our neighborhoods and the places that we grow up in, it's not accessible. If you don't have a car, if you can't get outside of your hood, then what are you going to do? And so we're trying to make sure that all of those people can get some affordable, good, healthy food, to their doors. And that's what we've been able to do. So basically, a customer goes onto the website, chooses the meals they want. We get the order. The next day it ships out. Depending on where they are in the US, depends on what shipping rate we use. What's notable about our process is that when we started, we were, because of my connections in gyms and being a personal trainer, we were able to retail meals in gyms. A lot of major retail like LA Fitness, Retro Fitness, Jersey Strong in New Jersey, a bunch of big places. And then this was, starting in September 2019, and then the pandemic happened. And we just lost all of our revenue, like literally in a day. The gyms were closed, they had the mandate, and we were scrambling around like we had just quit our jobs. Like, what are we gonna do? But it was important for our growth because it forced us, because we didn't have a nest egg. We didn't have anybody rich backing us. We started MacroBites with $2,000 collectively from 3 grown men. So where we were at in life, that's how much we had to put into something of a business, 2,000 collectively for 3 30-year-old grown men. So where we stood and what it meant that all of our revenue disappeared from the gyms, but it is what we needed because we cut so much of the waste that we were using in the company. We went from retailing to outsourcing our shipping to UPS, DHL, FedEx, USPS, all the major shipping people, because they ship. Why would we drive meals around in New Jersey when we could just make sure our food is packaged in a way that it can get transported to anybody, anywhere, so rapidly? We're delivering locally in New Jersey. The pandemic happened. 2 months later, we were shipping regionally to the East Coast. And then a month after that, shipping nationwide, just by refining our packaging, using vacuum sealing, which a lot of companies don't use because it's expensive. But if used correctly, extends the shelf life and make sure your product can get to where it needs to go efficiently. So we started doing that, and our whole life changed, our whole business changed, and we were able to reach a lot more people than just who Dave, Fritz, and Jared knew around the way. We were able to reach the whole United States. So we expanded and started shipping everywhere. And there was a lot of growing experience and a lot of perfecting our business model to make sure that we were profitable. We started doing this early because we had to, because there was nothing, there was no money to burn through. There was no waste to be had. If we wasted, anything, we wouldn't be in business. So it kind of forced us to perfect everything quickly. And we managed to do that. And the core of our business is the direct to consumer. They go online, they order meal packages. They can order on our website, they can order on Instagram, they can order on Facebook. And then we also have our local delivery for our core supporters that are just in our area through Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. And then we ship nationwide with UPS and FedEx mainly. And that's just the direct to consumer. But then we have a whole nother part of our business that's business to business, catering for hospitals and organizations and politicians and the cities around here that we live in. That's become, a big part of our bottom line, because people want to support us because of our story and because of our product. We have a superior product and we have a great story to go along with it. So people want to support it, and businesses and politicians, all the people I've just mentioned, they want to support it too. So that's become a big part of our business also. And then we have the brick and mortar. We have the MacroBites market. That's where our operations are run out of. It's in Asbury Park, New Jersey. That's where we ship from. That's where we cook, all that good stuff. And it's also where we focus on building other Black-owned businesses who might not have a chance to retail in a big retail location. Our shelves are filled with other small Black-owned local businesses that are retailing their products. So people would travel from far and away just to come buy those products from us because we're the only place that retails them. And then we have our cafe in Robbinsville, New Jersey. So that's located inside of Jersey Strong Gym. So there we focus mostly on supplements, protein shakes, and other things that people who work out would want to consume. And then our plan for expansion and growth is the retail, getting back into the retail. Gyms are back open. We've secured contracts with major retailers from, not even just in New Jersey. We're spanning across the, United States, and from ShopRites to Piggly Wigglies to Publix, anybody in the Wakefern distribution process. We've had those meetings, and we're ramping up our operations to be able to serve all of those customers. And that's part of the reason why we're raising funds now. Like I said before, we've been featured by a bunch of press, and that's what's carried us this far, being endorsed by celebrities and the politicians and people in the UFC. And then another part of our business, just the giving back, the focusing on making sure that we give back to the community first, because that's the community, those are our customers, those are people we serve, and that's where we come from. So without that, it's like, it feels like we'll be moving funny if we wasn't giving back to our people. So we make it a priority. We give food away, even if there's no grants to be had and there's no government contracts. We make it work anyway, and we still make money on top of that. So people still come buy our food, even if every single day from 4 to 5, we give out free food, no matter who comes, no matter what. And people still come and buy our food anyway. But the people who need the food for free, they know they can come to MacroBites and get free food. And that's, what we wanted to do. And along with that, we've brought free Zumba, free yoga, meditation Mondays, all types of just community things that we do from the location that we have, because it feels like we have some leverage. We have a space to do this stuff at. So it feels like, we should be doing it. And it's brought us opportunities that's helped our bottom line, our revenue grow. So it's something that we're going to continue to do no matter how large we scale. So let's get down to the numbers then. How much have we made? What have we done? So remember, I told you in the beginning, we started with $2,000 between us. That's what we started the business with. To date, we've made just over $350,000, which to some people might not seem like a lot. To us, it seems like a lot because of what we started with and what we started from. And to be able to have a gross profit of 43% over top of that is even better, because it gives us the opportunity to keep growing and reinvest the money that we're making into the community and into our business. So if you look at the graph here, I have it broken down by quarter. In the beginning, things were slow, and then we popped. And now, Q4 isn't done yet. We still have a month to go, and we're already over our Q3 numbers. So we estimate that it'll look a little more attractive, probably going up in a higher slope when at the end of this month. But these are the numbers so far. So you can see, as an investor, the dollars make sense. If not the story and not anything else, just the return on investment and what you're putting money into, we have a profitable model, which is more than a lot of startups can say. People raise money without making any money ever, and are still raising funds. We've been able to make money already. It's just about what we're doing with it now. And that's, where we're going in the future. So I want you to join us. We've been the first Black-owned meal prep company to ship nationwide. We were the first people, at least in our area, to put a healthy food market in the middle of the hood, or right across from projects, and made it become successful, because there's a stigma that Black people don't eat healthy and Black people only want fried chicken and stuff like that. But we're standing right up into the face of that and saying, nah, Black people like to eat good, healthy food too, if it's there for them to eat. And we're just making it there for everybody to eat. So yeah, that's my whole pitch and thing about our business. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, David. Guys, this is the time where you put your questions in the Q&A. Kevin said, I still like fried chicken though.
I do too. That's what I'm saying. But you got to have a healthy option.
That's right. Now you have options. That's right. And it doesn't have to be fried chicken every night, right? I would imagine y'all cook a mean fried chicken though. I would imagine.
We just did for Thanksgiving, because we gave out 2,000 meals for Thanksgiving. We had to, when we giving out Thanksgiving meals, it's not going to be meal prep meals.
Right.
So we did it up, man. We did have some fried foods in there. It was a hit too.
Oh goodness, wonderful. The chat is lit up. Nice.
So do we have any questions? Is there any?
We do. So Latrice says, do you happen to have a contract with a compost company just in case you do have waste?
So it's amazing that right next door to us, in our market where we cook, there is a community farm that has a compost section in it. And any produce that we can't give away, we just take right over because it's a community free thing that anybody could bring anything to. And we've only had to bring a box of stuff over there once, because people take the stuff that we put out. And the motto that we've created is we order food based on what we think the orders that we're going to get for the week. If we don't get that many orders, we have this food. Usually a lot of restaurants throw that food away. We package it up and give it out to the community for free. And if there is a situation where not enough people come, then we'll just go compost it. But mostly people come and get it. They know that it's there. And people like that, the fact that we don't waste anything. It just, any food that we buy in, it goes to people, regardless if they pay for it or not,
Very good. Macy says, vegan lifestyle, ?
Oh yeah, so over half of our menu is vegan, so 60-something%. I don't know I'm not that great at the mathematics, but we have a bunch of vegan options. We have another local to New Jersey Black-owned vegan company that, along with the vegan meals we provide us with weekly changes of vegan options that they cook in their kitchen and then retail to us, and that we sell to our customers too. So there's always different varieties. And that was a big thing for us, because not only are there not a lot of healthy places in the hood, there's not a lot of there's no vegan places. Ain't nowhere. If you're a Black vegan that lives in a project, where are you going to go to get vegan food? You can go to us where we're at. And if you order from us, you can get it shipped anywhere nationwide. So yeah, we're definitely vegan friendly. And it's a big part of our business, because there's a lot of vegans out there and we want to serve them,
The only thing I ordered that would constitute vegan is I got the mushroom bowl.
Yeah, that is a vegan meal. The portobello
fire. Oh, it was so
That's
good.
my favorite, and there ain't no meat in there.
It was delicious. Yeah, I got most of the other stuff I got was meat. I got the marinated steak, marinated chicken, then I got the lemon shrimp. the lemon
South,
chicken,
Southwest shrimp. Yeah.
Southwestern. Okay. And then I got Hawaiian chicken. Was that one of them? Is that the right? It was Hawaiian something.
Yeah, the Hawaiian meatballs.
Oh, meatballs. Okay.
Okay, so I'm hearing the Q&A now. I'm looking at what we got.
Okay. Elizabeth said, what's the exit plan?
So the exit plan is complex because it's not solidified yet. We don't know, when we're gonna exit, how we're gonna exit. But we do know that if the path forward is right for all of us, and it's right for the business as a whole, because when we're not doing this business just to make money and exit. I'm doing this business to pass down to my children, my children's children, so we have something. So regardless of what the exit plan is, I'm always going to be an owner, regardless of who else becomes an owner, and what that exit plan is. But I do know, I can tell you that on the back burner of what we've talked about with the food, there is an opportunity in New Jersey because I gave you the background about, we were selling drugs and all of that good stuff. In our state, they just legalized marijuana, which is what all of us got arrested for growing. We were growing marijuana in our, in a place, and we got locked up for it. So they've have set asides and like better tax rates and all types of things for Black people who have been incarcerated for marijuana. So moving into that industry in the next 10 to 15 years is definitely something that's on the horizon. It's definitely something that me and the owners talk about all the time. So if we do exit, it'll be exiting into another business that everybody can come join us in.
Very good. Terrell says, do you have any pictures of your meals and the packaging?
We got all the pictures. Just go MacroBites.com. You can see everything that's there. You can see we have pictures of all of our meals. We have nice descriptions of it. I could probably bring, am I still sharing my screen?
Yes.
So I could probably bring something up if you can't access it on the website.
Yeah, and Terrell, I can tell you, like David said, it was vacuum sealed in the tray. Then there was cellophane around it. Like there was like these things were like I was like, how much plastic did they use? Like I kept on doing it because I'm like,
the thing is, we're shipping a perishable item, and the reason we're able to ship nationwide is because all of that stuff that you see wrapped in, it's not just something that's there. It's a necessity that we've tried and researched because we've tried. I was, back in March of 2020. Before we started shipping, I was trying to, I had coolers. I was like, all right, how do we, and the meals weren't, they weren't lasting more than a day or two. And I had to figure out, research, how does this work? And, and through trial and error, we got it there. And all that stuff that you saw, that's how we make it work.
That's good. Charlie says, I'm floored by the profit margins. Can you elaborate more on how this is achieved? And sorry if I missed, where do you source your veggies, food /food from? Do you use Black or persons of color farmers?
So I'll start with the profit margins. The first way that we've been able to achieve great profit margins is by limiting our menu, not making it customizable. So we have certain meals that people buy that we produce, and we make sure we've detailed making sure our orders and our cost of goods sold, we're never ordering any more than what we really need for a week. And a lot of restaurants don't do that. A lot of restaurants order and they have stuff in their fridges for the next 3-4 months. We don't do that because that's how you have waste. That's how you throw food away or have to give it away. And we've dialed that in to where we're pretty much ordering exactly what we need. We've gone through over the course of this last year, just many different manufacturers of different packaging. I drove to Florida myself to get our coolers, to make a relationship with the manufacturer themselves. So we weren't buying our coolers from a distributor like Amazon or Restaurant Supply Depot or any other places people usually get their stuff from. I went and made a personal relationship with a salesman that usually sells their stuff to a bigger retailer that won't even get on the phone with somebody like me or a small business. We went down and made sure we made those connections, so we're paying $1 for a cooler when usually we'd be paying $7 or $8 because we're getting it right at the distributor price. So that was a big thing that, it took a lot of time. I drive to Florida. It was, a big thing. But now a year later, it's like, I look at our profit margins, like that, all that stuff, all that stuff worked. And where do we source our food from? So I'm on all of the Black-owned farmer groups and Black-owned food distributor groups on Facebook. We've been able to get some stuff from them, but mostly we use local farms in the New Jersey area. A lot of them aren't Black-owned. Honestly, just because there's just not a lot of selection to choose from Black-owned. But it's getting there, and when it gets there, we'll be the first ones to order from. But whenever possible, we always use local fresh farms. We have a network of people that we've met and made relationships with that we use in the area.
Very good. Gerald says, what's the average price point for the meals or the packages?
So meals retail at an average of $12.99. The 6 meal package retails right under $80, and the 10 meal package retails a little bit over $100. So those are the price points. We think it's competitive. You go to McDonald's right now. I just went to McDonald's for my kids because they love nuggets and fries and stuff. And I got them the 10-piece nugget and the fry, and it was $10.99. And I remember thinking when I bought it, like, I'm paying $11 for nuggets and fries, and I'm selling steak for $12.99. I got it. I was thinking like, maybe I need to raise my prices, like food here. And we're competing with McDonald's, like, so that's where our price point is competing with, and we've still managed to be profitable, even competing with people that sell prepackaged garbage food, pretty much.
Yeah, very good. Gwendolyn said, do you have an affiliate program?
So if you DM us on any of our socials, we do have a network of UFC fighters. A lot of our affiliates and brand reps are focused in the fitness nutrition industry, because that's where I got my start. That's where the owners got their starts, and that's where we knew people. But we are looking to expand as we move into 2022 and we get a broader national retail presence. Having affiliates in all the different states is going to definitely be important. So DM us and let us know where you're from and what you're about, and we take it on a case by case.
Chris says, as you grow, do you have plans on employing ex-offenders?
Man, all of our employees are ex-offenders. Not one person who works for us hasn't been in prison before. And we
Wonderful.
did that deliberately because, I remember what it was like, out trying to get a job. And the only thing that we could settle on was like dishwashing and just, whatever, the minimum wage garbage jobs. Like, we couldn't get good jobs anywhere else. And the reason why we like to bring people who have been locked up before is because it's like, we get to show people firsthand every day, like, look at what we did. We was doing the same stuff you was doing, and there's a different way. And it's not just somebody saying it, it's real life. Like, we're living it right here in front of you. All you gotta do is do certain things. You have to stop doing certain things that'll put you in prison and take all those skills and use them for something else. And it feels good to be able to show, people that same, thing, I guess.
Yeah. Kevin says, given that the gross profit figure is around 42%, what has been the trend for net earnings as a percentage of sales after operating expenses?
So after operating expenses, the first year we were at 15, we're at 25, and we're looking at close to 30 in Q4. So it's trending up. We're only getting better. We've been able to renegotiate our leases to better rates. We've been able to even with like we have like our advertising budget is nothing. We don't run any pay ads. We just get on Instagram, do what we do, and sell our food. And by not spending money advertising, we've cut that number a lot. By cutting out a lot of the extra stuff like expensive business phone plans when you can get a cheap personal one with 2 extra lines, or you know, cutting out our utilities down by bundling them into our 2 different locations. Like we've just managed to keep cutting our expenses, you know, month after month, because me personally, like I live by the numbers, because that's all. The other stuff is just like theatrics. The numbers is, you know, are what make the business. And if, you know, every week, every day I'm looking at the numbers and just like, what can we cut? What can we do better? Where can we get a better rate? What, you know, it's like a constant thing. And it's satisfying, especially like over this last year, watching it work and watching the profit margin grow, because our profit margin didn't start at 43. It was, you know, down in the tens and we were negative. You know, it wasn't good at first, but making, you know, the changes as we go have made it better. And that's exciting to me, man. It's really exciting. So I'm excited to see like what's the next year gonna do. We're gonna raise funds. We're gonna be in retail chains. What are we gonna do? Like it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, it's trending up. If I forgot the question, but I think it was something about, you know.
Yeah, no, you answered the question. Perez says, awesome execution. What is your strategy for other prep meal companies entering your market? And then also, do you have a plan to sell your meals in supermarkets?
So as far as other meal prep companies entering the market, our market's already saturated. It's already a bunch of people selling ready to eat meals. We do it better with better ingredients, and we have a better story behind it and better people running our company. So we don't have to do anything particular. We just do us and let them do them. And our work and, you know, what we produce and the product that we send out will, you know, separate us from, you know, any competition, especially when we're reasonably priced right there with anybody in the same path. What was the second part of the question?
The second part was, do you plan to be in supermarkets?
Oh yeah. We that's the whole push for 2022 is making sure that we're a household name, that we're getting in front of consumers who wouldn't see us just on Instagram and on Facebook and on social media channels, or, you know, the local media and anywhere that we've gotten our customers from before. I made it my mission to make sure we can get in everywhere. So, you know, we've got deals coming in 2022, ShopRite, Piggly Wiggly, Publix, anybody in the Wakefern food distribution network, which is focused mostly on the East Coast, which is good for us because we're shipping out of New Jersey. But I can see that spreading further into the West Coast, especially with the Publix and the Piggly Wiggly down the Southwest rapidly by Q2 of next year. Oh no. What else do we got? Hello? Can you hear me?
So I'm going to skip ahead. So Brenda Whitaker, one of our members, says, I don't have a question, but I'm from Neptune and I've had your food. She said her son is Travis Whitaker.
Oh, Trav. I know Trav. He trades Forex. He came with somebody, a guy named Dwayne, and used our space to host a financial literacy course for 3 days for free for anybody who wanted to come. Travis is a good dude. I'm glad you've had the food. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
I love that. Latrice says, is there a possibility of collaborating with other Black chefs? And I'm going to combine that with Warren's question, because Warren talked about partnering with other Black-owned food joints where you could manage the packaging and delivery system for them. Because we have a lot of good places that don't, they don't ship, right?
So we do collaborate with Black chefs. We're doing it now. When I mentioned the vegan company that we work with, That's a Black-owned chef and a Black-owned business. They're focused on vegan food. But even one of our employees was he was locked up. He got his culinary degree downstate, and he brought a bunch of fresh ideas and stuff to the company. And we're always open to collaborating with anybody, really. Anybody who could make our product and what we offer better and more robust to the customer. We're always going to be 100% with that, as long as it makes sense.
Very good. Sandra says, as a physical trainer, have you considered putting together a program to compete with the Nutrisystems of the world? Your healthy meals appear to be a lot more healthy than their products. I know many who buy those meals.
So, starting in just a quick 30 days, we're opening up a portal on our website where a customer can come get a meal plan from a personal trainer, get the food shipped by us to them that's custom to whatever their meal plan is, and get weekly check-ins and the opportunity for in-person training if they're in the area of the trainer. We're going to do that by 1099 contracting personal trainers from every state. As long as they meet certain criteria, they will handle the client's personal information and what they need. They will send that information to us. We will send them the food. And it will be very similar to a Nutrisystem or anything else that you see like that. The only difference is that you'll have a personal trainer assigned to you that will give you custom everything. So you won't just be ordering just a regular meal. You'll be ordering a meal with a certain ounces of meat, certain ounces of carbs, certain ounces of vegetable that fit your profile and what your goals are. Because when we started MacroBites originally, that's how we cooked all the food. I had my client base from my side hustle. I knew how to calculate their macros. That's where MacroBites comes from, your macros, protein, fats, carbs. I was calculating that, make sure it was in the right ratio, and then cooking the food so they can reach their goals, and we was very successful with it. So we had to cut that out while we were reducing costs and trying to make sure the core business was okay. But now that we've gotten where we are now, it will be able to open that back up as long as we contract and 1099 the actual personal training work. It'll still remain profitable for us as a food company. And it'll open the door for the people who might use a Nutrisystem or something that now they can use us and feel good that they're using us, because it's us.
That's wow. Sandra, I'm glad you asked that question, because David was holding back. That was
You know why? Because it's not ready yet, and it's something that we're releasing like for the start of the new year, when everybody getting their new year resolutions done. And it's not done yet. And I don't like talk, I don't really like just talk about stuff if it's, because what if something happens in the next 30 days and it doesn't come out in the first, then all y'all who listen to this will be like, man, he was talking about that personal training stuff. It didn't happen. So I try not to mention things until I know for a fact that it's happening. And we're just a few steps away from that right now, but it's definitely in the works. It's what I've been personally working on. It's my biggest project right now. Making sure the website can handle the traffic for it, and making sure we have trainers in every state that can personally one-on-one train people if need be, if we have people who sign up. So it's a lot of back end work that goes into it, but we're well on our way, and it's about to roll out.
Exciting. This is so exciting.
It is exciting.
Any more questions?
Before we get into, this is why we're raising funds, because we're doing all this stuff, and we didn't have any loans or anything to do any of this stuff with, and we still don't, and we're still just like bootstrapping from whatever we've made, and it's been cool, like it's worked. But I'm the numbers guy who's looking at all the numbers, and you need a big investment to do a lot of stuff that we're trying to do. All the big companies who do stuff like this, they have dollars in the bank ready to do it. and we're trying to get the dollars ready to do it. And we've done a good job just from selling food. But wouldn't it be great if we had some rich uncle that had 100 racks to put into our business? That would be great, or, because it would allow us, immediately from gate, we can buy all our food in bigger portions, especially the dry goods and the paper goods. So we get better rates. So we immediately cut our COGS by 2 to 3% just off of that. And then we have the money to do stuff like getting better vacuum sealers that can produce, instead of 1 every minute, can do 20 a minute, which lowers our labor costs, and, just all these things that we can do with more money. And it, through Seat at the Table, it allows the people who believe in us, who consume our products, they could come to the top with us. We pop and we blow, y'all blow too. Y'all, everybody gets money together, which is a good thing. It's exciting,
That's it. And from an investor standpoint, it's super exciting. And Cherie and I always say this, we want 10K project. We want to be the rich auntie and uncles, right? That come and give you what you need to get to that next step, right?
Right.
And collectively, I believe at my core, we can do this for founders like yourself. We are investors. We want to invest Black, right? And so that's what 10K Project ultimately is, right? It gives you this platform to be able to come in and tell us who you are and tell us why you're a good investment for us. And then we get to go do our due diligence. And then, hopefully that renders an investment in you. That's the whole point. And we rinse and repeat that thing. You won't have to, you'll have everything you need. And that's the goal. I'm just going to say this, and I don't endorse, right? I'm not a financial planner. You all know that. I always say that. But I'm going to tell you, based on what you've done, right? With what you've had, if you had money, like you going like what? If you actually had capital, what could you accomplish? Like my mind is blown thinking about that.
You know what? When we just, me and the other 2 owners meet every week, just and go over everything. And we just did our all-time numbers to date. And, we get so caught up in like just the minutia of running the business every day. And it gets to where it's hard to take a step back and look and just be like, look at what we did from what we had. Like we didn't have it. We really didn't have it like that. We had enough to survive, and we were living our lives, and we had apartments, we had our kids, and everybody was taken care of. And then we turned that into what we have now from just what we had. And the thinking about like, what we could do, like if we hit our 250, the reason why we set the goal at 250 and not 50, is because I want to go get that vacuum sealer machine that costs 50, that can produce 20 a minute. So when we get the ShopRite order, the purchase order for, 100,000 meals, we can produce it and not, be fumbling around, like amateurs. I don't want to be amateurs anymore. We're not amateurs. We've already solidified our space with just where we've come from. And I'm proud of us and what we've been able to do. And I know we're not perfect, but that the same hustle and same grind that took us from where we didn't want to go back to prison anymore, and we took our little bit of bread and made it what it is now, you have a chance to put money in our business. We're going to work the same amount for your money too. And what a better person to be working for that. I invest too. Like the only money I have in my checking account is what's used to pay the bills on a month-to-month basis. Everything else is in stocks and other stuff. And I invest in stocks, and sometimes I make money, and sometimes it feels good. But does it really feel really good? Like I invested in Tesla, it was $600 a share. Now it's $1,200. I made, 50%, a big whoop. But do I want to invest in Elon Musk, some white dude from South Africa that disrespects Black people? I really don't. It don't feel good. Right. I would rather invest in somebody like us, somebody that's doing stuff for us, So I'm just amazed that, and blessed that we even have an opportunity to even do this, that there's even a community of people like us that come here and do stuff like this, because I'm sure this is new. Like it wasn't like this. So kudos to you for even putting it out there for us to be able to do.
Thank you. And I'll just add for the community, again, not investment advice, but the holidays are coming and the kids don't need another foolishness, right? They don't need more foolishness. They don't need another toy truck. the gift of equity is the ultimate gift. We're seeing a trend of that, right? Instead of engagement rings, people are buying, apartment complexes and gifting their fiance with that. And like we're seeing the mind shift change right in front of us. And I would say to you guys, if you decide to invest, what better gift than to give the gift of equity to someone? It's a convertible note, right? So think of the lesson for those of you with young children. Think of the lesson, the journey you can take them on for the next 2 years, following the company's progress and being able to, talk about that decision making of do I when the note matures, do I cash in or do I exchange it for stock? Like this is actually a good lesson and a good investment opportunity from a gift giving standpoint, right? So, consider all of those things when you're making that decision. It's not just sometimes our portfolio, but you can go on all of the portals and open an account in a younger person's name. I think they have to be 18 by the rules, by the SEC rules, but just consider that as an option, right? You might not just be managing your own portfolio. You could be starting a portfolio for the young adult in your life, or maybe you have two portfolios, right? And then when they become of age, you've got this thing that you can then transfer into their name. But I want us to think about things differently, right? When we talk about the mind change shift, this is part of that. The holidays and gift giving doesn't have to look the way it's always looked before. Now the gift of equity is cool.
Right. And it's possible for us, for people that look like us, for businesses that's run by people like us, which hasn't always been the case. And, me and my dad talk about this, all the time because, my grandmother just passed recently and, my dad did as much as he could. I'm doing as much as I can. And we always talk like, imagine if, grandma didn't have to clean houses because she didn't know how to read because her mom was working in the Chitlin circus and didn't go to school at all because her mom was a slave. Like, imagine if that wasn't our background. Maybe I would have some savings bonds or some random stuff in my name that I would get old and be like, oh, let me start my business with this. Right. Or, whatever it is, how, generational wealth is created. And I feel like now doing what we've done, like I've started a little hub where we can create that for at least the people who invest in us and our families and the people around us in our community. We can start that now. And it's like super humbling just to be even thinking about being able to do that. And it feels good to be able to do it, so hopefully everything works out as it's been working out and as we move forward, how I see it in my head, because it'll mean a lot of good things for everybody. And I just want to, make sure I mention this. If you invest in MacroBites, like you directly invest in not only just in us and all the Black owned businesses that we have in our store, all the Boismos and the It's Lit candles and Serenity bracelets and just everything that we carry in our store and all the people that we put on. A lot of people right now are opening their own stores and own restaurants and own stuff just because of being able to retail in our store. And that, regardless of what success we achieve, being able to look at somebody who couldn't get a shot before and now, they're opening their own store. It's amazing, man. It's really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Kenny said, are the single meals enough for one person or two people?
It's for one person. They're a single person meal.
And they are, it's a good portion though. It's a nice.
I'll eat two of those good portions.
You got all that muscle you burning. It's a good meal. It is. My eyes are always bigger than my stomach. So when I first saw it, my first thought was, okay, this is nicely proportioned. And then like even last night, I was like, it did exactly what I needed it to do, right? I didn't feel like yucky because it was too much. It was just perfect. I didn't feel like I needed dessert after, which is another big thing that I struggle with, right? And I didn't have that. So it was the perfect portion and the perfect flavor palette. It was a perfect flavor combination. The seasoning was on point. I'm telling y'all, you just got to order it yourself. but because everybody's
Hey,
taste is
you trying to
different.
get
But
a
I'm
job
telling you, it was good.
Would you like to come and pitch our meals full time?
Listen, I am a foodie. I know good food, and that it was good. It was definitely good.
I'm glad to hear it, because we really work hard in trying to make sure we get good ingredients, we cook it the right way, we don't cut corners, so that people like you who order the food can have a good experience and eat it and be like, damn, that was hitting. Like, that was good. It wasn't just healthy, it was good. And yeah, we portion our food to make sure that no matter where on the spectrum you are and what you need, it can fit closely to what you need. Like, it's the standard guidelines, the macros are in the right ratio, and the calories are in the right amount for a lunch or a dinner meal.
Very good. Roland says, if you continue to grow and someone wants to partner with your business to expand your vision, will you be open to this?
Well, of course. So like right now we're taking investments, right? Like the people that are investing in the company now, that the 42 people that have invested thus far, some of them are passive aggressive investors who just want to invest their money and don't want any say in what's going on. They just want to watch it grow and they want support. But then we have this other part of the investors who are active investors who we update on a weekly basis, the same way I update all the other owners that we started the business with. The investors that have put that money up, they're in those same calls with us. So if you want to be an investor that's active, who has a vision, who has stuff to add to the company, please, we welcome you, because a lot of the stuff that we're about to do in 2022, some of it came from investors that invested at the beginning of our campaign, who didn't want to passively invest, who said, if I'm gonna invest, I need to know all your numbers, I need X, Y, and Z, in which I realized, of course, we should. These are the people who invest in our know more than we do about business, have expertise in things that we don't have expertise at, who have contacts, have connects, and have opportunities available. Why not? If they want to be front seat, and which I implore anybody who's investing, if you want to put your money to work, make sure if you have anything to offer and anything to add, any vision, any contact, anything, you'll have my number. You can hop right on the phone with me and we'll talk about it and we'll make sure it happens, because I know what I know, but I don't know what everybody else knows. We're definitely a lot better together. And that's the whole reason we're opening this thing up anyway. Why not? If you have something of value, we're there to listen to it and make sure it becomes a part of the fabric of MacroBites, because that's what we need. I need y'all with new ideas and new visions and stuff that I'm not thinking about. I know a lot, but I don't, I'm an amateur at this. I need y'all too. So please come with the visions, come with everything.
And help. April is one of our members and she lives in Singapore. And April said, I invested. I've done prep meals by other companies many times. The food was not good. Although I can't taste yours, just the fact that it's Black owned, I had to do it.
It's good. I promise you. You're going to get it. You're going to taste it. You're going to be like, ooh, this is good. And it's healthy. You're going to know it's healthy too. And it's Black owned. This is like the holy grail of, anybody who who wants something like this, they can find it with us. It's funny, we didn't even like in the beginning of our business, we didn't advertise being Black owned. Like, we were scared of like chasing away like white people.
I've heard that story from a lot of founders.
So scared that we were going to chase away the white people. And then it was just like, at some point it became, if they're that type of white folks, they're not going to order from us anyway, regardless of what we're saying and what we're doing. And if they are, then we're giving somebody a chance to support what they want to support. And that's what's been so big for us, because somebody in Idaho who wants to support a Black-owned, healthy meal prep company, where are they going to get food from? They can look locally, and they're going to find soul food spots. They're going to find pizza spots. They're going to find fried spots. They're going to find a bunch of other stuff. Where are they going to find that healthy food at? And a lot of people find it through us, because we're the only Black-owned company that can get healthy food to them nationwide. And that's been our niche, and we love it. And because we're feeding our people, the people who want it, and the people who want to support it. So
Nice. Any questions? Any other questions, guys? You got any final questions? Go ahead and put them in the chat.
Kevin says, so that machine costs $50K.
50K, Kevin. We got to help him get that machine.
I mean, honestly,
Okay.
the best one costs quadruple that. But
Really?
yeah.
Well, we need to, somebody in this chat, we need to start building this damn machine. That's what we need to start doing.
Exactly. That's, it's because I try to look at other companies who are doing what I want to be able to do, and people who have the infrastructure, and kind of studying, their model and what do they use and what's their packaging and what's their machines. And when I really looked at it and I was like, wow, this is multi-million dollars worth of stuff that these people have. And here we are in a small kitchen with the handheld just cranking out meals every day.
Wow.
And it's like, I want to expand beyond that at some point. And, I even without any outside investment, I know slowly we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But just call me impatient. I don't want to be slowly getting there. I want to get there because we know what we have to do. We have a goal. We know we need to do it. It's just about having it to do it,
So I just had a thought pop in my head. I don't want to exploit a company that didn't do well, but a lot of restaurants don't make it, right? A lot of companies don't make it. Like, does somebody have a machine that we can get it for like 30,000? Like, get it on.
I mean,
you need to tell us the name of this machine so we can find it for you a little cheaper.
Right. I agree with you.
Like, man, that's a lot of money. But for real talk, we talk about how we need, like, we talk about this thing about leakage, right? Where our Black owned companies can't always have the tools and resources and all the things they need. And we can't always keep it Black because there are so many things that we just don't manufacture, we don't produce. And this machine is a perfect example of that. I mean, how cool would it be if there was a Black owned company that had this machine, right?
I looked up Black owned vacuum sealing companies. They don't exist. A lot of them are made in European countries, to be honest with you, and distributed by American places. But it is what it is. We'll do what we can now. And like you said, wouldn't it be nice if we were able to start the business and just have everything that we needed to get to where we're trying to get to this next year? But everything happens for a reason. We needed to learn all those lessons from when we didn't have anything. Also, we needed to. I feel like we're so good now because we know what it's like to be broke and dry and not have nothing in our bank account, and be looking at our orders and like, do we have enough money to pay for this? And are we going to go out of business? Like, going through that for that amount of time, it seasoned us to make sure that we're careful with, we're super careful with the money that we get because we remember what it was like to be dry and have it.
It's everything you talked about tonight, the efficiencies that you've made, that's a direct result of your struggle. The fact that you can think of everything and say, okay, this is what we have to do, but how do we do it more effectively and more efficiently and cheaper and smarter? Like, all of that is a result of where you've come from. And for me, as an investor talking to a business owner, that's impressive. That's impressive that you're thinking about that every step of the way, because waste is a big deal, right? And the fact that you've put that in the forefront of running the business versus it being an afterthought, I can see the revenue rise over, the next 10, 15 years. My investor brain says that's the kind of mindset I want my founder to have.
And it's not just the revenue. It's not what you're making, it's what you keep after you make a sale. Like, if you make a certain money, but it costs you so much money to produce it, it's like you're not making nothing. You'll go out of business quick by selling a lot, and that's why, a lot of businesses go out of business because they have a whole big pile of cash to start from. They never get the core numbers down. And then they just squander away all the money, and then they're dry at the end and go, all right, well, we'll close shop. we started without anything. So there was no room for making mistakes and burning through a bunch of cash. We just didn't have it. Like if there was 1 week where we were over the percentage of COGS and labor, what we're supposed to be over, then that means we can't make the order for the next week. We don't have no money in the bank. And there was no, we tried to go in banks and get loans with my nice packaged business plan, all these slides. They looked at me like I was a joke. Like I never felt so unbelonged and like just out of like, this is not where I need to be ever in my life. Even, which was sad because I spent so much time, like we've been doing this for a year. Like I've been looking at this stuff forever. Like I know what my numbers are. I know all, and it's just like, oh, you made $100,000. Yeah. Okay. So, and it's just like, and without, great credit scores, they just, that traditional financing and stuff, it wasn't an option for us.
Wasn't an option. Yeah. Perez, this is the second time Perez asked this question. Perez wants to know when and where the party is.
So we have the MB Gala. It's going to be on December 19th, 131 Atkins Avenue. It's going to be, it's on the same block that our market is in Asbury Park, New Jersey. If you want to invite, please reach out to me. I can send you the event link, and you can sign up there. Anybody who's in the tri-state area, a lot of our current investors that we already have are going to attend, a lot of potential investors, and then just a lot of folks from the community who just want to come out and have a good time are going to be there. And we're putting a lot of effort, and this is the first time we've ever done anything like this. So I'm all nervous. I'm like, oh my God, we're throwing this big party. Who's going to come? Like, but I think it's going to be a wonderful thing. We're putting a lot of effort into it. And I think it's really, especially where we're doing it at. And, it's going to show like our community, like we've already shown, but doing stuff like this, it kind of just shows like, look at what's possible when you just take all that effort that a lot of us spend just on random stuff that isn't important, that is a detriment to us. Imagine what's possible when you put that into something that's worth something. That's why we love being in the community we're in. We like when the drug dealers come in, they talk to us and see that there's something else, and they know it's real because they know us, they know what we were doing, and it's good to see the kids when they come in, they try to steal stuff instead of getting the police called on them and getting a record immediately at age 10. They get brought into the back and get jobs and get a chance to make some money. Like it's a beautiful thing that I think we're doing, and I want people to be a part of it. So
that is beautiful. All right, David, you got my allergies messing up here in a minute.
I was just trying earlier when I was thinking about stuff, so you're not the only one.
Okay. So Perez says, if you can give me the name of the machine, then I can ask for it when he goes on his trip to Europe in December. He said, also, have you contacted all of the Black-owned VCs?
The cold calling VCs, I put together a email and sent it out and just didn't get any responses. I know because of the industry we're in, no VCs are looking at restaurant industry because traditionally profit margins are sub 10%, and it's just not a attractive industry for VCs. VCs are looking at tech, new ideas, stuff that's revolutionary, and cooking food isn't something that they're into. So I assume that's why we haven't gotten any calls back. But we tried. And, I'm just blessed that we were able to get, our business on the seat at the table, and that we're able to do some equity crowdfunding, that we got our stuff on, the SEC and went through all that process, which was honestly the biggest challenge I faced as a business owner. That was well out of my expertise. And that, I had to learn a lot to do that, but I'm just grateful that we were able to get into what we're into now, because you don't have to be a VC, you don't have to be an accredited investor, you don't have to have millions of dollars in the bank. You can just be a guy with $100 and you can invest in us and grow your money with us. So
that's it. Gwendolyn says, is there a way to identify if there are any gluten-free meals?
Right. So anything without the whole grain pasta and it's gluten-free. Over 80% of our meals are gluten-free. So pretty much everything except for the lemon chicken piccata and the chicken parm, and the Southwest shrimp and taste of Hawaii. Everything else is gluten-free because it doesn't have the pasta in it.
Wonderful. And Carl says, what are your franchising goals?
So franchising, we looked at it. It's an option. The challenge for us with franchising is the having a model that can be replicated by someone who isn't us in any particular space. And I spent a lot of time like writing up our standard operating procedures with the guys. And with that goal in mind, like how can we transfer this to somebody else? And what we're struggling with is how we keep our brand with franchising when any old Joe Schmo can just buy it, because it's not going to be the same. Are they going to, give away 20% of their profits and free food to the community? Like, I don't think so. So it's been something that we've thought about, but not explored in any type of depth, because one, we don't make enough and we're not there yet to even consider it. And two, even when we are there and we're at that place where we can franchise, how do we do it in a way where we can maintain the brand that we have now? And maybe that becomes a different type of franchising where we only franchise to people who are like us, who have the same missions. That's not, off of the table. It's just kind of one thing at a time. Like I'm only, me and the guys are only people that can do certain amounts of stuff. And that's a big venture that will be maybe 5-year plan, not next year plan. But it's
Carl says, what about wholesaling?
So, retailing is wholesaling. When you're selling the ShopRite, you're selling the, supermarkets, you're wholesaling. Like we're not selling them meals for, $13. We're selling the meals for $7 and they're selling the meals for $13. So essentially by trying to ramp up for retail production, it is ramping up for wholesale, because you sell meals by the case when you're selling the retail, not by the unit. When we do our direct to consumer, it's, individual meals, and we do have, our meal packages, which are 6 or 10, but, when you're selling to a retailer, it's, 25 and up for the most part. So the wholesaling plan is the retail plan. They're one and the same.
That's good. That's a good breakdown. Thank you for that. Any more questions?
This has been fun, man. Like this type of thing that I've done so far. Thank you, guys.
All right. So I'll give my closing remarks, David, and then I'll let you close us out all the way. I talked about my idea, the gift of equity, right? Please consider that. More than anything else, I always ask you guys, share the campaign link. Success comes with the more people that sees this campaign. And remember, Seat at the Table is a new portal, right? So it's not going to get exposure like WeFunder and Start Engine and Republic. So, David and his partners need us to share this campaign to all of those people that we know, so that they can get the exposure and get the eyes on it. That's how they're going to hit that 250K number and exceed that in these next 30 days. Do you think you'll be extending the campaign, or you think 30 days it'll close it down?
Nah, we're gonna close it down in 30 days, work with what we got. And if we do any fundraising after that, that's the decision we'll make after that. But we plan to end at the end of this year. And we're gonna follow through with that no matter what percentage we end on. So if you do want to invest, you got 30 days.
Now's the time. Yeah. Well, looks like Kenny's not playing tonight. Kenny and April already said they've invested, so they're not playing with the rest of us who want to procrastinate. They're not doing it.
All right, so. Well, that's what we need, man. We need people who are passionate about it, who really want to be a part of this, because it's something that you should want to be a part of, man. We're not the average people who are going to be here pitching. We're not the average business. We do different stuff and we're passionate about it, and the same, like I said before, the same effort that we're putting into ourselves, we'll put into your money that you invest. And that's a great thing for you and for us, for everybody involved.
That's awesome. Any other questions before I give David the floor for the final comments? All right.
So, final comments. I've said a lot now. Like I said, I don't want to be long-winded. I just want to thank everybody for spending their hour and 20 minutes now that we've been on here. And make sure I remind you that any investment in us is a direct investment, not only in us, but in Black business in general, because that's what our mission is, supporting other Black-owned businesses and supporting our community. And go look at our Instagram, go look at our Facebook, go look at our website, go look at what we do. We're transparent and we show everybody what we do on a day-to-day basis. If you're an investor, then we'll show you what your money is doing on a week-to-week basis if you want. There's investors that, like I said, join our weekly meetings that we have with the owners and listen to everything that we say. And we make that open to them, like we'll make it open to you if you invest, because it's important. And I think, the community needs us. The hood needs us. They need to see people like us doing stuff like this instead of just being locked up and squandering their lives away. So,
Yeah. Ken is asking, so Ken is one of the co-founders of a company called blackfacts.com. And Ken's asking you to put your social links in here. And Ken has a great network. Ken has a network of like 200,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and drop those socials for Mr. Ken.
Yeah, let me make sure I get the links right and make sure everything's okay. I'm trying to do it now. So in the chat is Russia. I put by the way, if you're in the tri-state area, I put the event page for the gala that we have on the 19th. That's there. If you want to get tickets, you can get them directly on there. You'll be good to go. If you do want to join quick, because we started selling tickets last week. We're already 60% sold. We haven't promoted it on any type of social media or anything yet. This is just hand to hand with people we know and our investors and stuff. So if you do want to join and do want to attend, do it quickly, or there might not be space because we gotta, make sure everything's everything. So we can't have.
All right, Perez, go ahead and get that ticket.
So I just put the Instagram up.
Perfect.
In the thing, let me find the face.
And then our admin put your website, the MacroBites website here is already as well.
Perfect. So if you just search MacroBites on any of the socials, we'll be there.
Perfect. David, thank you so much to you and your business partners. Thank you. Congratulations in advance for all of the success that you've had, but then for the success that's also coming. As a mom, and as a New Yorker, I know how hard those streets are. And I'm telling you, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of all of you. I really am. And what you've accomplished, celebrate it. Celebrate it every single minute, because your story could have been so different.
It could have been.
But the way you're giving back to this community, you're taking care of it. And you're going to make a big difference. Another little Black boy who looks like you, who has to make a decision, he's going to make a different one, because now you're the role model. And so I'm so proud of you. Absolutely so proud of you.
That's why we're doing it, for the kid that was us, that was 12, thinking that we were somebody because we were, buying a QP and breaking it down to ounces and making $100 and putting all that effort into that just to get locked up, just to be a prisoner in a convict at the end of the day, when all that same effort and skills and all that same stuff can just be put to something like this.
Something like what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you're doing it. You're here now. The story is different. This is a different story. And so you get to start this story right where that one left off, and you're doing it. You're doing it. And I just say peace and blessings to you, to all three of you. I will add you to my prayers, because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you succeed, and you will. And you will.
I appreciate you.
All right, everyone. I know. I'm sorry. I got, I get in mama mode sometimes, and it's no turning me off. you know, when I see amazing, I talk about it, right? They say when you see something, say something. When I see Black greatness, I'm going to say it, because we need to say it more often so that our young men can know it. They don't have to go to the streets for love and for acknowledgement. They can get it right at home and right from us, because home is us. So that's what's up. You got a community behind you, brother. NK community is your family. You want to come here and talk again, whatever you need. We're gonna show up for you. I believe that. I believe in my heart that these 58 people that are on here tonight and everyone that's gonna watch this replay will consider the gift of equity and not buy a toy fire truck, because this is gonna be way more profitable.
I hope so. And make sure everybody looks in the chat and gets our socials and the event page and our website and all that good stuff.
All right. Thank you guys for showing up again. I appreciate you. Good night, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.